to Talking Crass. We're back again. This is episode 17, and I'm here, as always, with the man, the myth, the legend, Betonius.
Episode 17.
17, mate. But we also did half episodes, so what does that round up to?
Oh, shit. No, I don't think we do the actual amount of episodes we've done. I think if we hit, if we hit episode 100, which will actually be episode 15 because of the mini episodes, we go off episode 100.
I think episode 20 was going to be a special episode where we just talk about random things.
Okay.
To do with film, or maybe not to do with film.
Life. The life episode.
Just life. But what do we know about life?
What do we know about our existence? Reality. Robot hearts. All to come.
Fertilisation.
I'll give that one.
Anyway, people, we've just been to see Blade Runner 2049. Now, Beat, there's been a few reviews out, and it's mostly positive, of course.
Right.
But I would like to say there is a few who didn't really like it.
Right.
We'll go into more depth about that when we get into the podcast. But what we're going to do is just keep the usual route of what we do. Start off with not necessarily top 5. Then we're going to go into true or false trivia. Then, in a little bit of a spin, you've just made some points, Pete, I think.
So the deal is, we all know when I'm watching a film on the DVD in the house, I can write down my iPad and not disturb anybody.
What we paid for this one, Pete?
We did pay for this one, John. We pay for all films we go to see, people. We pay for all of them. Not necessarily with money.
Hold on, right? Pete, hold on.
Right.
Do you know when you go to the cinema?
Yes.
And you buy a regular drink?
Of course.
Why is it like...
Can people guess what we pay for a regular drink? Take a guess. I'll give 5 seconds. I'll give 5 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1.
How much, John?
I think I paid £3.50.
£3.50.
That's probably good. If there's anyone like Busks listening in Bristol,
right?
I'm sure like
the further you go down the country,
when you get into London as well,
the higher the exorbitance.
Ooh, nice word.
Thank you. Well, I'm feeling real theatrical, John.
I know.
Feeling real educated after watching this, baby.
After watching this absolute epic. What? Right, no. My point is to you, Pete. Why is it like £2 for a small, then £3 for a regular, and 40 pence more for a large?
I think they do that.
Why do I need? Would it not solve world hunger if you just like? Why get a large? I always leave half of it if I get a large.
Oh, but it's only 20 pence more.
I know I got a regular and I felt bad throughout the film.
So what they do is they charge you for a large for a small. The small isn't actually proportionate to what it should be.
Right.
Everything goes 10 pence below a large.
Right, okay.
Whereas it should go £1 for a small, £2 for a medium. It doesn't increase.
I get you.
They cheat the shit out of you, basically.
Beat, what's your favourite cinema snack food?
Snack food. Definitely nothing that makes noise. If I really, really want to go and see the film, I will not drink anything because it makes me go to the toilet. I'll miss 15 seconds. Well, 15 seconds being real great.
You don't get drinks if you're going to a film that you really, really want to watch.
So for Star Wars...
And, take part in.
For Star Wars, I didn't drink all day. I was like, Jake LaMotta in Raging Bull. Just completely detoxing, trying to hit me weight of not having to take a piss halfway through the film. Also, nachos are just too...
A lemonade, a my dad's boat.
Nachos are just too dry. Cheesy sauce is too rich, and the spicy sauce is too spicy, so they're off the table.
No, salsa isn't spicy.
Popcorn's acceptable, but I sometimes get a flaky outer skin bit right at the back of my throat, and I start gagging. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way.
When the corn is...
that little hard bit, and you're trying to slug it down with loads of corn, but it's just not moving.
You've got pretty much deep...
So
you've got to deep throat yourself to try and get it off the edge of your throat.
Yep, so that's the worst experience, so I can't have that.
So, do you like any snack?
Not really. Enjoy really sugary popcorn, but that's about it.
You know what I like, Bede?
What do you like?
Nachos. You know what I don't like, Bede? The cinema that we're regularly going to, that we've got a card for.
Right.
Don't do proper sauce.
Really?
They've got the bloody Do you know when they come in like the little packets?
Right.
And you've like got to open them yourself and like dip them in.
Yeah.
It tastes like shit. The natural cheese is like syrup.
Wow.
Anyway, we're digressing. Beat. We're going to go into not necessarily top 5.
Holograms in film.
Of course. In true ode to Blade Runner. I'll start you off, Beetroot.
Yes.
Princess Leia, Star Wars.
It's the classic. It's the easy one to go to.
Oh, Leia, sorry.
We had an argument for about 5 minutes of who actually got it, so we had to do less work and try to get the 3 to make up our kind of effort.
If someone thinks of a hologram in a film, that's the first one you think of.
Of course.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Very nice, John.
Cheers, babe. So, Beat, out of all of the 2 ones you have, one that's already been mentioned, what have you got to hit us with?
Back to the Future 2.
What, Jaws?
Jaws.
I've got that down as well.
Jaws 50 or whatever.
Unreal, I love that.
Worst effect I've ever seen.
Fair.
Right, so let's talk about the health and safety of that. If you're on the street, right, and you don't enjoy films in any way, but you walk past the cinema in 2017 or whenever that's set in the future. When's it set?
I'm not too sure, mate.
We just did the episode last week. Go
that
back
was the
there.
first one. That was the first one.
But the first one is in that time.
Straight on from
Like when they say they've got to go to the future to change the past.
2017, then I.
We're going 2017. Probably 2015.
2016, wasn't it?
Maybe. I know. I'm getting
2016.
lost, John.
2016.
Right. So you're walking along the street and you walk past that cinema and a huge fucking holographic shark comes out. Now maybe that's the normal thing. I don't know.
Like you expect.
Like you build to that. You've grown up with it. But I'd jump out my fucking
I don't
pantaloons.
think I'd take that. Like, I'm quite worried, Pete, that we've got to do a horror for like a Halloween special.
Worried about it.
I'm worried about it, and I mean we're gonna do. I'm taking part in fully.
Well, I'm not going to cinema to see a horror because I'd melt in me seat.
No, we're not
I'd melt like candle wax.
We're gonna whack the volume up. We're gonna watch it on a dark, rainy, misty night.
Should we get the microphones, record the screams, and just edit in every time we fucking jump out of our skin?
We could do it, to be fair.
That's
That's a good point.
shout.
I might be throwing that in.
Okay.
How them beat? Do you want to hit us with the other one? And I'll take over the reins from there.
I've got 2 more.
Oh, go on then.
Red Queen.
Oh.
That little shitty girl in Resident Evil.
Who apparently is like the main part of the story.
Who apparently, interestingly, with every film, gets worse. So the budget keeps on changing, right? So I think the director wants to save money.
So the newer films.
The newer films
are
look
worse.
shit compared to the first effect.
Those films were a pile of shit, and I enjoyed
Do
the
you know who
games.
makes them? Paul W.S. Anderson? I'm getting confused.
The director?
The director is from the northeast of England.
Alright.
Who's a complete, absolute knob face.
Who's the guy?
Probably actually a nice guy, but just wants to make movies, but make shitty movies, which everybody goes and sees.
Right.
Which is weird.
Well,
in my opinion,
he's all there for the pay packet, mate, isn't he?
I guess,
for that.
but he seems like a kind of normal guy. But
what's the bad dude's name again? Who wears the glasses, the black glasses, and the like leather trench
Albert
coat?
Wesker.
Wesker. What a man! What an antagonist. But I'll hit you with one. I've never laughed so hard in my life.
Yep.
In the cinema. The engineer Prometheus when he's running down that hall.
He's just doing like a jaunty run.
It's like
in slow motion, isn't it?
You can tell he weighs 1,000 pounds while he's running.
You're right.
But he's somehow just projecting him. They're in the tunnels, aren't they? And he just like runs past.
It's so weird. You know what's funny about that?
It's such a shit film.
They're not scared of that at all, are they? Oh wait, they are scared of that. But when the rattlesnake comes, they're like
trying to
prodding the fucker.
So watch Prometheus, and then watch the newer Alien Covenant, and listen to our first ever podcast.
Don't watch Prometheus; it's total fucking shit.
No, you got to watch it. Watch Covenant, haven't you?
No, watch every film you can,
but don't watch that.
Let me get one in, John. Last one, and I'm not even sure if it works. Last Action Hero. Does he come out of the projection screen? Am I remembering that correctly?
There's a cartoon in it.
No, but does the bad guy come out of the film screen at the end?
Does that make you a hologram?
I guess so. I mean, I like trying to get the faintest actual...
There's a difference between a projection and a hologram.
Okay, gives a fucking break. I like to toe the line, John. I like to tread the wires.
Right, fair enough.
See where the camel's back will break.
B. I'll end it on another legendary one. The Emperor, Star Wars.
Oh, right.
When, like, Vader's checking them out.
So, is it the one where George Lucas went back and redigitalised everything and got Ian McShane?
The original Emperor was scary.
Ian McShane? Not Ian McShane.
No,
Who is it? Ian McKellen?
McDermott.
There's too many Ians in Philimo.
It's definitely not McDermott. I just made that off the top of my head. I want to say it's Ian McDermott, though.
McDermott. McShane.
We can't say this because we sound stupid.
No, we'll throw punches at ourselves, John.
Anyway, right? Ian McShane. The Emerald.
Ian McShane? I'm pretty sure Ian McShane's that guy of Game of Thrones who doesn't give a shit about Game of Thrones. He doesn't give a shit about acting. The guy who's in American Gods as well.
He just turns up for the money. He just turns up and he's English, he's a legend.
Well, he's hellish.
I think he likes playing the stage. He's like a stage...
He's a theatre.
He's a stage actor. He's a theatre actor.
He's Shakespearean.
But then he'll go and do like...
Just a paycheck.
American Gods for £1 million.
I love that when I see that. Bill Nye's like that as well.
Hitting every minute.
He was in what film was it? Aaron Eckhart. I, Frankenstein. I love them films where these incredible actors just go, fuck it, I'm getting one in because it's a bit of fun.
I, Frankenstein means I don't have to work for a year. I can go to the Mauritius and eat lobster.
It's my favourite.
Anyway, Beat, that wraps it up now. Another great, not necessarily top 5.
Thank you very much.
Which leads us into your favourite segment, Beat.
Right.
I don't know what I'm doing with my fingers right now, but I'm glad it's a podcast.
Doc Ock out of Indiana Jones.
True or false trivia, Beat.
Yeah.
So, in this segment, I use a popular internet movie database website, and I take anyone's inputted trivia from there,
right,
and throw a couple of red herrings in, try and catch Beat out.
Revolutionary.
Let's see how many he can get right. First one, Beat. Jared Leto spent the weeks leading up to the shooting of the film with specially made blackout glasses so he could capture his performance as Neander Wallace to the best of his ability.
Right. So he's one for you. A bit of deductive reasoning from my part. He understood that the backlash of him publicising... I can't even pronounce that word right. Publicising his kind of method acting in Suicide Squad... As a reaction to that, he would decide not to get that publicised in any way, form or shape. So I'm going to say, even if it was true, we don't know about it, so false.
You're right.
Yes!
Is that because...
He was buying dildos, he was buying rats.
Pretending to be a method actor.
Exactly right.
Heath Ledger locked himself in a hotel room.
Went to a lodge, he heaved around.
Heath Ledger
right.
locked himself in a room for a month in a hotel and put makeup on himself and drove himself crazy.
And made a performance that in the end may have contributed to his own death.
Now that's method
Now
acting.
that's fucking method. As much as I love the man.
Next one, B. Harrison Ford was regularly caught smoking marijuana on set. He claimed it helped him act within a
in a G-string. Did it help Mac in a G-string, John?
I put it around the wrong way. CGI said.
Oh! Are you smoking fucking marijuana?
Harrison Ford is in a
So
G-string.
I've got a picture in my mind of Harrison Ford in a full green room, wearing a G-string and a G-string alone, smoking a doobie.
Dirty Grumps.
Dirty Grumps! Shout out to the Weekly Planet, as we previously stated, is our best plagiarism source for
old
making a podcast.
What?
Bad Grandma.
Old Grandma.
There's another one in films. Bad Grandma.
Robert De Niro
just went, I'm fucking sick of these punk kid millennials. I want a bit of the money off them.
I watched that film, I enjoyed it now.
What does that say about, if you don't know what the review coming up for Blade Runner 2049 is, we enjoyed Bad Grandma, apparently. That's the worst Robert De Niro performance.
Sorry, that was the best I pull out. True or false, beat?
False.
Yes. Next one, beat.
Did you hear the story about... Did you hear the story about him? He was apparently had a...
Story time with Beat.
He had a pot. So he was just literally, rather than igniting marijuana buds, he just had a skillet as hot as he could get it, and he was just dipping the cigarette into the skillet and just lighting it that way.
What?
Apparently, I don't know what happened.
Why would you use a skillet instead of a lighter?
Because he was high as fuck.
Oh. There's two things in life Harrison Ford loves. Money and marijuana. Acton's never been in there.
And sacrificing his own credibility to get into another one of his previous great films.
Which he looked very enthralled to be in.
Exactly.
Right, Beat. Next one. David Bowie was Denis Villeneuve's first choice for the role of Neander Wallace, but passed away before the start of the shooting.
True.
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck's sake, you're doing well here.
It sounds right.
Yeah. So you wanted David Bowie to play Neander Wallace.
Jared Leto.
Unfortunately,
Jared Leto.
he fucking died and you had to get Jared Leto.
Whatever you think about Jared Leto, he's got some fucking stones on him to reprise the role after Heath Ledger, and then understand that he's going up against boys as a choice.
He went through a spell after 2010 where people were saying he was the best actor in the world after Dallas Buyers Club.
Yes.
And it shows
it's all closing in.
It shows how damaging one film
You're exactly
can
right.
do. Yeah.
You can work incredibly hard
for years and years.
Build up an incredible record or repertoire of film, acting, and then one film fucks you. That's
scary
the world.
It's scary times,
that is
mate,
the
but
world.
That is the
mate.
world. That's what you say. Anyway, moving on. Oh, this is a long one, beat. What do you reckon?
Okay, right. We're on 17 minutes around that point, so let's go.
Right. Ever since Blade Runner 1982 hit theatres, there's been a divide amongst its fans about whether or not Harrison Ford's Rick Deckard is a human or a replicant.
Say, rather than Rick, can we say Dig? Just say Dick Deckard.
Dick Deckard. It's a question that the film leaves up to the viewer.
Yes.
Though director Ridley Scott, Ford, and everyone else has chimed in with their own thoughts on the subject.
Ooh.
With the sequel, there will certainly be more fuel on the fire of Deckard's true identity.
Yes.
Denis Villeneuve did go on to say that the mystery will be something they address in the film.
John, can I butt in?
And that recontextualising the original film with any answers they present in the sequel is a concern of his. The thing I must say is that I love mystery. This is Dennis.
Yes.
I love shadows, I love doubts.
Ooh.
I would just want to say to the fans that we will take care of that mystery. I will take care of it.
Okay.
What were you going to say? I'm pronouncing Villeneuve wrong.
I think it's Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Yes, or Villeneuve.
You know what? I thought I was doing very well by saying Villeneuve when I was pronouncing that.
Okay. I mean, it's all right. I mean, what do you want us to do? It's spelled fucking in French.
R8 beat. We're from the northeast. We'll call him Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. True or false, beat?
I'm gonna go true. Because that copy button can really get through some characters.
It wasn't even true or false.
It wasn't even true or false. It's just a
on
fact.
On that point, B, what do you reckon? Obviously, we'll go. Is this one of your points when we're going to
I guess we can touch up upon it later.
He's definitely not a replicant. There you go. That's my view on it.
Okay.
Moving on. At 2 hours and 43 minutes, Blade Runner 2049 is 46 minutes longer than the original Blade Runner 1982.
That was a long film.
Which ran 1 hour and 57 minutes long.
Right. Oh, is that true?
True or false?
Blade Runner's a long film. I mean, that's... see.
It ran 46 minutes longer than the original Blade Runner.
That's what you're saying. False.
Yes, I got him. You nearly had the clean sweep there.
Is it 1 minute out of you fucked us big time?
I was thinking about fucking you big time and saying, like, switching the 1 minute. But no, that's the trivia. It's 46 minutes longer than the original film.
Right.
And by God, I felt it as well. Set one beat. The dog is a replicant. So the dog, sorry people, if you haven't seen the film, there's a dog in it. Is that spoilers or not?
There's a dog in it. No, that's not spoilers.
There you go. I'm not going to say anything else, but there's a dog in the film.
Right.
In a world where I thought all animals were dead.
That's, well, no, they're very, very, very rare. Yeah.
Right, anyway. So I'm saying the dog is a replicant.
You're asking me whether that's true or false.
Is that true or false?
Importantly ambiguous, just like Deckard's actual...
Well, I've put a question mark here, so you're probably right.
Yay!
It's just a question mark. There's no true or false answer.
Who could you say it, John? Mm-hmm. Oh no, that would be spoilers. We'll get into it later.
We'll get into spoiler discussion a little bit later. Beat. While shooting a fight scene, Harrison Ford accidentally punched Ryan Gosling in the face.
100% true.
As an apology to his co-star, Ford invited Gosling to share a bottle of Scotch whiskey with him.
100% true.
How would that be 100% true?
It just sounds like a Harrison Ford thing to happen.
I belt him in the face.
It happened.
True, aye.
You don't think Indiana Jones, the man who played Indiana Jones, is belting people in the head? Have you seen them punches in them film?
Well, mate, at the end of the day, he's just an old man, isn't he?
But he's a hero. Even though he's just trying to destroy every good character ever made.
Yeah. Right, last one to finish off, Beat.
Okay.
Staying with the Harrison Ford theme, Harrison Ford did all of his own stunts in the film. However, in most of the scenes, he was hooked up to a crane and wore a lot of padding.
False.
Fuck's it, yes.
Right, so the mentality of Harrison Ford is, where the fuck's my money? Where the fuck's my drugs? Do you think he's getting into a fucking harness? Not happening. It's just not happening in the film.
Right, you're right, Bede. You're absolutely
Where's me
right.
skillet? Where's me old favourable skillet where I put my marijuana buds in?
Anyway, Bede, that brings an end to true or false trivia. You only got one wrong. I think that's your best ever yet.
Incredible.
Loving it.
Got one wrong means I get nothing.
It means you get nothing. You don't get the gifts which still haven't been claimed.
Right.
Jar
Get to us.
Jar of the East, hit us up. If you don't hit us up, it's getting re-rolled on the next podcast. Peace out, motherfucker. Right. So what we did, Peter, was we went and watched the film, and we just made points on how the film went.
Yeah.
Whether that be actors, whether that be scenes, stuff like that. So we'll just go through them one by one and just discuss the film, really.
Yeah.
So all of this is going to be spoilers. We're not going to do non-spoilers and spoilers. So don't listen to this if you haven't seen the film.
Please, regardless of what we think of the film, if it's good or bad, please go and see the film.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of hard work gone into it. There's a lot of money being made of it, of course. It's very corporation based.
Yep.
It has to be. But it's very, very much worthwhile going and seeing it in the cinema. Simple as that. I always recommend that. So you can form an opinion.
We're in. But do you want to hit us away? Straight to the main point, people.
Yeah, first question. John, what does it mean to be human?
Love. How loud was it at the start?
I was over the moon. I
It's
really
the loudest.
enjoyed it.
I tell you what.
I enjoyed that part of it.
What other loud films were being Dunkirk?
Loud film. That was fuck. That
It
shot.
was very. The opening
gunfire
scene,
scared the shit out of
very
us.
loud. I enjoyed it though. Very good opening. Very good opening.
Strong opening.
What does it mean to be human, B?
What does it mean to be human, John? Is it in your eyes?
Love.
Is it in your soul? Are you a skinhead or whatever they call them? Oh no, not a skinhead.
Being able to make your own decisions.
Oh,
There you go.
free will.
Free will.
Free will.
E.
I like that. Right, actually get to the main point
Right,
of it.
let's go.
First of all, opinions on the characters. We'll start with the protagonist, ?
Mm-hmm.
Kay. Bring up the emotionless expression. So, what's your opinions on the lead character Kay, Ryan Gosling, also known as Joe, and the way the narrative makes him not act?
Well, I thought it's the most wooden I've ever seen him.
Oh,
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
well, I like to say
I
the
think
most
it's
metal.
It's a good thing. First critic noise. Did I like him? I like everything Ryan Gosling does.
Right.
Loved him in Drive.
Yes.
Great in Place Beyond the Pines as well.
Right.
Enjoyed him in that.
Only for God Forgives, seen that?
Unreal.
Have you seen that?
I've seen a lot of Ryan Gosling films, mate,
Wow.
along with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Have you seen The Notebook?
He's probably the breakout actor of the 2010s.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know, but it sounded very good, didn't it?
Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal's another actor associated heavily with Denis Villenueve.
We're going to Denise Van Houten. Five Alive.
Probably he's associated with that as well.
That's just 50 now, mate.
I'm not going to get its age.
I'm neither.
Okay.
Right, what I think of him, I thought he was very good. I enjoyed him in the role. I loved his duster.
Oh,
We love a duster. We love a duster.
If I can ever complete anything in my filmmaking career, if I ever have one, get me in a western or a sci-fi epic where I can put a duster on someone that looks like it came out of fucking TK Maxx.
See, I think I can tell people that you're at uni studying film.
Yes.
So you're hitting it out of the park at the minute. Loving it. I also acted in his first video.
Thank you very much, John.
That may or may not be uploaded to our YouTube channel.
Who knows?
We'll see. Anyway, Beat, liked him. What was your view on him?
Right, so the point I was bringing up, the emotionless expression. With the story, which is really, the main focus of it is the question, is Kay the biological, can I say that? Is he the son of Deckard and Rachel? who is a replicant.
I
We know for a fact she's a replicant. Questionable whether Deckard is.
I enjoyed his character progression
Yes.
throughout the film.
Yes.
Bit of a twist in there as well.
So what I was going to say is, the biggest thing I enjoyed is, although he's emotionless, I know that's a problem when trying to connect with a character, the fact that they don't show emotion. When he had these bursts or outbursts of anger, boy, did that kind of catch me attention.
Would you have enjoyed it more, Beat?
Yes.
I know, to be fair, if you change the full film.
Yes.
Because Denis Villenueve
Yes.
did say that Ryan Gosling was cast, no one else was in the running.
Right.
He wanted Ryan Gosling to play this part.
Uh-huh.
Could he have played a human Blade Runner?
Human.
Could he have been, like, not a replicant? Could you have left it ambiguous in this as well?
I don't like the fact that we would have retread the exact same story beat of the first
like
Blade
that.
Runner.
A little
I
bit
like
the new Star Wars.
I like the originality of the fact that he is a replicant. I like the fact that we know that, but the idea is he human? It's kind of a flip on it, really.
Yeah.
Whether it's ambiguous of whether Deckard's a replicant or not, is his humanity there? Is the real question of this robot, which I do enjoy that flip. I enjoyed the opening scene, the whole opening.
Dave Bautista.
What
a legend. How he's making a good go of it.
He's building up.
He went to
filmography.
WWE, right? He got booed to shit, and then he's become an actor.
What a
And
man!
a good one at that.
What a man!
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you think about WWE, it really is just theatre.
Yeah.
But you get to drop an elbow on someone.
That's it, mate.
Anyway, next character. The reintroduction of Deckard.
You've skipped straight to that, mate. You're doing it in characters first, are you?
Yes.
Right.
Do we agree with bringing back old Grumpy Grams, in the words of our favourite podcasters?
He had to be in for the film, didn't he?
Did he? Rachel wasn't in the film.
She died. She was the main film.
Could he have not died as well?
What's the word I'm looking for? Fulcrum. She was the fulcrum of the film.
Was she the fulcrum of the film?
It was her bones. She gave birth.
I think she's just a vehicle to advance the plot, to advance the story. I think the fulcrum of the film is
her giving birth to
Ryan Gosling.
Her being a replicant and giving birth.
Right. We'll get on that later. So, do you think this film would have been better or worse without Harrison Ford? Is he necessary?
It would have been a totally different third act if he wasn't in it. They would have had to change the full film.
Do you think that Denis Villenueve...
Denise?
Right.
Denis Villenueve.
I'm trying to choose his name as many times as possible. Den Villenueve. Right.
What?
Do you think he kind of... What's the word? Do you think he was kind of compromising in getting Harrison Ford back? Like, he was there at the start and I feel the need to bring him in. Or did you think he was that important to the story? He wrote that in intentionally in Ford. I need the actor back.
He's Blade Runner, and it's a good little way of
tying it together.
Tying it together.
Just paying homage. I thought it was a bit funky because he was he just looked. I mean, is this a valid point? He just looked like he turned up out of a just his Hollywood home, just in a t-shirt and jeans.
You can tell, right? Harrison wanted you to put these leather pants on and this big duster.
Is he?
And he's
no, fuck that. No.
The only reason I'm going to do this is if I just wear my normal.
Obviously,
that gets stolen.
He's trying to look distant from Gosling's performance, I guess. But that doesn't change the fact that it kind of took us out of the film.
I love the look of Ryan Gosling's character.
Yeah.
Thought he was fucking really cool.
He was really cool.
Apart from when he got his nose broken, he had that thing over his nose and it was like a guy out of Sin City.
Marv. I love that. Here's the next point.
Come on then, beat his word.
Joy.
Yep.
The character of basically the hologram.
Yes.
Who Kate falls in love with. Throughout the film, did you think she was sentient? Did you think she had thoughts of her own, or was she just programmed that way?
I think these are programmed. So if they spend a lot of time with someone,
they learn everything about you and how to make you convinced that she is sentient. That's
a program for someone to buy to be a wife.
Yes.
the perfect wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably believe that she's doing it because that's what he wants her to do it.
But she did bring up the fact that she was scared of losing her own existence. Because remember when the console would be broken?
Yes, that's a good point.
She also took the final words
It
of
gets
her
broken
life.
within 10 minutes.
She took the final words of her life to say, "I love you," to Kay. Is that sentience?
I tell you what,
would she die trying to convince him of that?
Yeah, you're probably right. The whole theme of Blade Runner is you make these robots, and these robots can uprise.
Yes, the whole theme of the thing is
everyone thinks that we've got control over robots, but if that ever did happen, it would be fucked really.
I guess it's existentialism.
It's like creating another
life. But
life
are you creating life? Is that intelligence? Is that sentience?
I suppose if you look at it that way, definitely that's points at the
An important thing.
Tell you what I loved.
Yeah.
When she was glitching out when he crashed that car and the electric wasn't
really
working
good.
properly.
Again though, he's not awake and she's acting.
And he's like,
she's not. He's not conscious and she's acting like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Funny thing is to bring up Mariette. I think her name is the character name.
Right.
The girl with the pink hair.
Yes.
The prostitute.
Yeah, she's prostitute, but she's human. Her. She's human. She's not replicant, is
right.
she?
Yes. Correct. Yeah. After Joy uses her to have sex with Kay,
she's like a bit. She's a bit pissed off that she's still hanging around.
Mariette says, "You're nothing. You're a lot less than I thought you were." So even though that character is in this uprising of, we need replicants to have as much right as human beings, not skin jobs, she still has a negative opinion of just the hologram. So it's kind of the idea that there's always that kind of discrimination.
Yeah.
She's discriminative against holograms. She thinks they're nothing.
Right.
Which is a good thing to think about.
Oh, I like that.
Next point. Bad guys? What did we think of the antagonist, who is the girl's name I can't remember? It is Love.
Would you say she was the main antagonist over Jared Leto's character?
No, I would say Jared Leto is the main.
But he didn't play much of a part, really, did he? I hated that last. Really. And I think I hated it because she played it well.
Yes, very unhuman.
Very good. Acted it very well.
But then she had, you know that part where she had the tears? Because she was talking about, I know, Jared Leto was spouting garbage about angels need a gift and all that shit. She's hiding her emotion, really.
Why does Jared Leto kill that replicant he makes?
I have no idea. I think it's the fact that...
Does he like open up and see if she's pregnant? Is that what she's doing?
She's accidentally been made so replicants can give babies now, can reproduce, and he doesn't like the idea that anybody else can make a replicant. He likes the idea that he is God and only he can make the perfect replicant.
Yeah.
The fact that these replicants which he's made can go out and procreate as well and create other humans, robots. He doesn't like that idea. I think. I could be wrong. Again, everything I say could be wrong. I could have a wrong opinion about this.
The beauty of film is you get your opinion and you get to speak about it.
Correct. Do you think it was a rehash of the Tyrell guy in the first film? His character?
Not bad, but you give an interesting spin on it.
What's that?
Obviously, eyes are the main thing that
Uh-huh.
makes people human.
Well, in the first one, that was definitely. Also, in this film, the first shot of the film is an eyeball opening. So I mean, that's still consistent.
And obviously, he's blind.
Oh, of course.
But did I think it was similar? Yeah, but I think I don't know. Wasn't the guy in the old film a little bit more like not as bad?
No, I think they've all got like the god complex kind of,
like a god complex creator type thing.
Yeah,
that's fair. But I mean, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed Jared Leto.
Did you?
Yeah. So I would say I enjoyed him. I thought he was pretty good in the role.
Okay, moving on.
But he wasn't in it for long. It only took him 2 weeks to shoot his stuff.
What do you think of Love, the T-1000?
The T-1000 Love.
Yep. First of all, I enjoyed little things like the way she snapped that guy's spine out of the Dark Knight. You know, the crazy guy, the doctor.
Yes. How'd she do that? Just punch him? I thought she punched him in the back of the neck.
Collapsed his column, like his cerebral.
So she was just a replicant who wanted to follow Jared Leto. And do anything for him.
I guess so. Which is sad. He
told her to go and find the baby so they could find out what the crack was.
But again, throughout the film, you very much see human tendencies kind of flash through her robotic facade.
That's fair.
Next point, John.
Yeah.
Unless you've got anything more to say on that.
Not really. I thought she was great. Like I said, we touched on her before. Thought she was
Scary.
great. Scary. Yeah.
I was shitting me pants when she was in a room with someone I liked.
You knew she was gonna kick the hornet's nest.
Exactly right. Opinions on narrative. Enjoy it? Simple? Long?
So
Questions?
the story obviously lasts from the first Blade Runner
Yes.
to the end of this film.
Right.
The way the plot's structured, I thought. I mean, it was following Ryan Gosling. Do you think it could have been shortened or not? The way the narrative was told, it obviously give you the bluff of. So you think
we
that
keep
Ryan Gosling was the main guy?
We keep on moving to different sequences to kind of give us a little bit more information about whether Kate is actually the biological son of Deckard and Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Is that interesting? Did it interest you? Did you connect with the characters?
Yeah, I suppose.
The funny thing was I really don't know.
I liked Batista at the start.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was in it for as long as what I maybe wanted to be in a little bit longer, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Just thought he was good. He played like a replicant really well.
Yeah. Again, it's that similar rehash of Deckard going to meet his first replicant to kind of hunt him down. So it gives us kind of an understanding of what Blade Runners do. To pick up on, maybe not narrative-wise, but I love the entirety of like the whole set design and the whole idea of this realist sci-fi kind of thing. You know, you've got like these fantastical elements like robots, synthetic people, what it means to be human, stuff like that. I love like I don't know, is it neo-noir where you've got that kind of detective, long duster, one big revolver,
very dark times.
Yeah, gritty,
trying to get through it.
Everything the Blade first film had, that's everything I look for in sci-fi. Really quite adult. In the way as if I cite Alien, it's like on a dirty big trucker. Mm-hmm. You can really connect with it because it's so real. You think these people are just truckers of the universe. It's kind of and what you would think would be the natural progression of our timeline.
It's got like the Man with No Name, like Clint Eastwood type style.
I love that. Yeah.
For Ryan Gosling, and even in the original Deckard, is it Deckard or Decker?
Deckard.
I think I'm Decker.
Deckard.
I think I like how like the police can go out and be the gunslinger. Do you know what I mean? Really, that's what they are.
Are they the good guys though?
No.
Hunting down these humans?
It's just all a big analogy for
racism, discrimination.
Isn't it? Really? Discrimination.
Yeah, what it means to be human, stuff like that. Definitely, 100%. Right, we'll get into a few more, I don't know, closed-in questions. Quite specific. Question, John.
Mm-hmm.
How is it possible for a replicant to have a child? Can you answer that?
That was obviously, again, the fulcrum of the story.
Yes.
That replicants can now reproduce, which makes humans
inert,
needless,
archaic.
It gives them ability to bring a war, is what
I don't think that was the thing
House of Cards last said.
Robin Wright. I felt what it did. What it is proof of humanity. If you can conceive a child, that means you have to have love.
But how can you build a robot?
No, I don't understand that. But if you could raise a child, a human child, or a kind of
hold on though.
It's proof of humanity.
When you make a replicant, it's just a carbon copy of a human. Really, isn't it, biologically?
I think so, yeah. With a few differences, like a number and endurance, strength, and
not
workforce like slavery,
and not being able to reproduce. But life will find a way.
Is that what's happened here, though? If you were making these robots, how can you not? How do you accidentally make them have babies?
Is it not like a Darwin type thing? Like life will find a way.
I don't know how. I really don't know the
maybe
ultimate
Deckard's
science
just got
behind
super
it.
spunk.
Maybe
like he's got like a 9-inch.
But what if
super spunk?
What if Deckard's a replicant?
Well, that proves that he's not, doesn't it? Really? Do you reckon?
Could a Decklicant? I was gonna call him. Could it work if Deckard was a replicant?
I don't know, but I just got
robot semen.
I got a thought of Harrison Ford
plowing
sex
a
with one of
fax
them
machine.
robots from China. You know, they're like the really badly done sex
I
robots.
can't move at all.
Like, really, everyone's like, she's got such real eyes. No, she hasn't. It's bloody glass. I don't know, Beat.
It's
Is it a plot hole or is it intentionally left?
Is the information in the film to understand that?
No.
Do you know that for a certainty?
I'd need to watch it again, but as far from the time I spent there watching it, I don't think it was ever explained why they
So there's newer models.
Yeah, but she wasn't a new model.
She wasn't, no, but she's a new model as in newer model to what came before her. They're called Nexus 6s or Nexus 9s. Yeah. Is the newer models... See, that's it. If someone could
it should never be able to happen. It should never. But that's the whole point of the film.
So the next.
That's the whole point of the film.
So the next
She's
point.
Special.
Special. So the next point of that is, if it is possible for a replicant to have a child, how is it Rachel? How is it the fact that Rachel is the first replicant to have a child? How is she the first one? Again, clutching straws, or is the answer there, or have we missed something?
I don't think so. No, I think it's just left ambiguous. To the point of where aliens,
right?
That's why.
Just evolution.
Just evolution.
Found a way.
Evolution found a way.
So maybe.
So I'm guessing, right? Like I said before, a replicant is a biologically, tissue and all,
yes,
a carbon copy for a human, but a zombie, really.
Someone who can be controlled and programmed. So maybe...
But if it's got all the organs in there,
yes,
there's nothing to say that...
It's not human.
It couldn't...
So maybe they accidentally made one too real?
Yeah, maybe.
So
maybe Rebecca was too real.
Sexual organisms.
I think she's called Rebecca, isn't she?
Yes. No, Rachel.
Rachel, sorry.
So her genitalia and reproductive organs were made so real that you could...
That's it. I think that's the answer. The answer is that she was just a one-off, made... Luckily... or something wrong went on, should have made perfect.
Again, though, I love how Robin Wright's character says that the fact that they can have a child is what proves the human. Like, they can only see that as proof. If that gets out, we're done. Because it proves all replicants can have children and proves the humanity. But all the signs are already there. The fact that they lash out in anger and rebel.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Again, maybe another critique of either society or modern society. I don't know. So anyway, moving on. Question for you, John. Better than the first? In your opinion?
I'd need to watch the first again, which I'm probably going to do.
Right.
But no. Not for me.
Right.
The first, I don't know whether it was because the first broke the mould.
Yes.
And set an example for all sci-fi films to follow.
Absolutely.
Which... made a massive difference to the way you looked at the film.
So the first time something's done, it's more important.
I'm sorry, but we've seen that a million times.
We have now.
We've seen it a million times.
Maybe not that slow, maybe not that detailed, but we've seen it in Blade Runner.
I mean, we've seen it in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
That type of story. It's been done.
Right.
In other films as well. I don't know. Maybe it's because of that. Maybe we've done the sci-fi thing over and over. Now, I think the director put his own spin on this.
Yes.
And I think if you watch it as a film, it's absolutely beautiful.
Right.
Some of the scenes are great. Visually stunning.
Yes.
Music excellent by Hans Zimmer and his mate. I don't know the other lad's name.
Right.
But like I say, there was just... I don't know, we'll probably go into when we're talking about our overall summary of the films later.
Yeah.
We'll go into that.
A little bit more.
What did you think?
I definitely... I think I like the first one more. But it would be close. I don't know if I felt... So the first one's a long film. But again, I think we'll touch on it.
Right, so you thought the first one was slow.
I thought the first one's slow.
Right, this is 43 minutes longer.
Exactly.
And I thought that crippled the film, but
Maybe.
Obviously we'll talk about it more.
We'll talk about that in better detail. Again, I've got music down here. I'll talk about that later when I give my final opinion. Last thing I wanted to pick up on before we go into final points, just the overall cinematography, opinions on that. Roger Deakins, who is this infamous, like the best you can get really in modern cinema. I think he's done about 10 films with the Coen brothers. He's worked with who made Skyfall. Sam Mendes?
Yes, Sam Mendes.
Director of Jarhead as well, I believe. So a very proven cinematographer. Opinions on the composition of how it was shot, John? I've got down.
You can obviously explain this better than what I can.
Oh, I don't know
but
about
like
that.
what I said before, loved some of the visuals.
I think this sums up the entirety of...
Some of the visuals. This film is going to get an all right rating.
Yeah.
Because of the visuals.
Right. We'll get on that later, but I think this sums up what I've put down. Colour. Check.
Mm-hmm.
Rule of thirds. Check. I don't know if you know what that is.
Nope.
Depth of field. Check. Extreme wide shots. Check. Imagery that flew straight over my head like an implanted memory. Check.
Check-a-rooney.
So maybe it's just me, maybe it's my taste, but maybe I need to go back again and watch the film, but I don't know if I want to.
I think
to give it a chance to kind of...
It's a long film, but I would like to see it again, I think.
I think you...
After sitting on it for a day, mate, I think I would like to see it again. And I think if we see it again, would probably hold it in higher esteem, which I'm a bit worried about giving it a rating now.
I think, yeah, I mean, we give it now in the fact that we've only seen it once.
I mean, it was a beautiful film.
But anyway, that's what I've got down. On our final opinions and ratings, John.
Right, so we still need to look at the ratings.
Yes.
Okay? We're begrudgingly not going to give this rating out of 10.
Are we not?
No, we're chucking that.
Right.
We're going to go on a 4-scale rating system.
Okay. So, John, are we changing the rating system a bit? I've heard we're going to scrap the 10.
It doesn't work, Beat, because we gave Raiders of the Lost Ark the same score we gave for the new Spider-Man.
Right.
And Raiders of the Lost Ark's an absolute classic.
Well, I don't know if I can remember that, but...
We did do that.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into, instead, a 5-star rating system.
So it took us 17 episodes.
17 episodes
to realise that top 10s don't work.
We're getting a bit flack about it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, yeah. How can Spider-Man get the same as Raiders?
I completely agree.
And
but then, how can it get the same as that film? But then do you disagree with the actual rating we give it?
We give Wonder Woman, probably, I think Wonder Woman was better than Raiders. I think I'd give Wonder Woman a 9 out of 10 better than Raiders.
No, I'd give Raiders a 9 out of 10. I think I'd give Wonder Woman a 7 out of 10.
Right, I'll give it more than that.
Okay.
It's film of the year for me.
But then, are you wrong in saying that rating? No, but then are you wrong in saying it as good as Raiders?
Anyway,
yes.
It's going to be like a type of a 5-point review. So you've got 1 the worst, 5 the best. But obviously, we're going to come up
with some fun,
witty ways
that relate to
like
good,
we always
bad.
do in this Crass podcast.
Okay. So we've spent the last 10 minutes trying to devise up a new rating system. I think we've cracked it.
This is the best we've come up with in 10 minutes, which could be subject to change.
So I'll say that the rating, you say what we've actually named it.
Right, so
terrible.
Shit.
Right, okay, so if
Any
film
film
is
that's
bad, terrible,
the worst we've seen,
it gets a shit
it gets
out
a
of
shit
10.
rating. Just
Right.
shit.
Right.
Maybe a poo emoji.
Moving
maybe
up,
not.
moving up, bad.
Keanu Reeves acting in Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Right. So any film that's bad gets that rating.
Any film that's bad gets a Keanu Reeves in Bram Stoker's Dracula rating.
Next one is most average film we've ever seen of all time. It gets an alright.
The Idris Elba Award.
Idris Elba's acting. If you're opinionated on that, if you think he's a really good actor, fair play. I think he's okay. Alright.
If you're an average film, you get the Idris Elba rating.
So if you're a good film, you get...
We'll drink to that.
Not bad.
Rating.
Because John's usually drunk.
Usually.
And
I'm getting there.
One of the best films we've seen all year.
If it's a classic, we're talking about Raiders. We're talking about The Matrix.
Yeah.
We're talking about Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
It enters the halls of Crass Holler.
Right. Just like our current members.
So anyone in the halls of Crass Holler, Bosk, Razza, Az, the NTTFT pod,
make some room, because you've got some fills coming right up, yeah.
You'll have some beautiful films to watch, lads, in there.
So that's new rating.
So that's our new rating system, Bede. What do you think?
I think we head straight to Blade Runner 2045 and whatever it's called and get rating it, mate.
If you lot can come up with better ideas than what we have in 10 minutes, we are quite happy to switch the rating system.
Subject to
So
change.
really what I've done is, number one, the shit one, is under 2. Anything 2 to 4 stars would be Keanu Reeves acting in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Idris Elba's 5 to 6, nice and neutral. We'll Drink to That would be anything getting a 7 or an 8. And Enter the Halls of Crass Hallett is an 8+. If you lot can think of anything better, we're quite willing to switch it in. So hit us up. On that note, Beat, I would like you to tell me what you actually thought of Blade Runner 2049.
So, points 4. Cast?
Mhm.
Definitely. Gosling? Enjoyed. Joy? Enjoyed, even though I don't know her real name. Robin Wright? I enjoyed. Weird T-1000 lady who I sympathised with because she was a crying robot? I enjoyed.
Lily Lovelace.
Dave Bautista? He's a classic now. I really
He's a
enjoyed his
classic.
small glasses for some reason. He's a
Yeah.
really huge-headed man, but he's got really small, wiry glasses. I enjoyed that.
Mhm.
Harrison Ford? He felt actually a little bit out of place in the film. Maybe not story-wise, just appearance.
Oh, God, no.
He just looked like Harrison Ford and maybe not Deckard. I don't know. Did you get that feeling?
Aye, he wasn't Deckard, he was just Harrison Ford having a drink of scotch
Yeah.
in a dystopian future.
One point I missed out on, Rachel's stupid CGI face, which they took from Rogue One.
This is happening in
How
a lot of
bad
films
did
now.
that look? Was it purposeful?
I don't like it, but
Was
this is
it-
happening a lot. We're going to get times now where they're going to bring back, like, old actors
Oh, big time.
and have them in lead roles.
Was it purposeful? Was it meant to look like that bad because Harrison Ford didn't recognise that
It
was his...
It was the Carrie Ann Fisher. It was the...
Oh,
Do
that
you
was
know what I mean?
awful. Took us right out of the film.
Yeah.
Who else am I missing? Nobody important, I hope. Anyway, enjoyed the whole cast. Acting superb throughout. Really enjoyed that. The story, quite easy to follow, I felt. Kept us guessing. Kept us involved. Question is, did I really connect with characters as much as I wanted to? Although maybe the directors and purposefully made you feel like you're on the outside and hard to connect with them.
Mhm.
Trying to symbolise relationships in the actual world between robots and humans. I don't know. I'm not as smart as I need to be for this film sometimes.
I get you, mate.
Another point is, maybe my taste is different to what the film actually wants me to agree with. So maybe I just sometimes like to see a head getting chopped off. In that point, funnily
Well, when the
enough,
bombs came down and blew everyone up.
I know, did it feel every time there was an action sequence, it felt completely out of place in the movie? Did you feel that way or not?
Aye.
Did you feel the showdown between Deckard and Kay?
You were waiting a long time
One,
for that action
quite
sequence. weren't you?
rushed, and two, very weird.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not sure if that's intentional. It obviously must be, because this Denis Villenueve is a hero, and he's made great films before with real
One of my
class.
favourites, Arrival.
Absolutely.
That's a slow film, though.
Sicario.
He specialises in slow films, like.
Sicario.
You hit me back and said Sicario, though, which I love.
There's another one on the list which I can't remember. Prisoners. What a fantastic
Love
film.
Prisoners as well.
I believe he made Enemy, which
Mhm.
is definitely in the slower side of things, and got one of the scariest scenes of film I've
Is
ever
that got
seen
Jake
in my
Gyllenhaal
life.
in?
Yes.
You told us with the spider.
Yes.
Is that spoiler?
No, it's got spiders in.
Okay.
It's not a spoiler.
No bother.
Cinematography wise, absolutely incredible visuals, incredible use of colour, incredible use of wide angles, wide shots, so you can see the massive
Yeah.
scape of how big this world is.
Mhm.
And again, just really in awe of the stuff like that. Maybe a bit too much on the arty side of imagery that I maybe have missed.
Mhm.
But move on to the next point. Music, fucking incredible. Just probably is my favourite part of the film.
Bit of synth going on or
The
not?
synth is just going right through my eardrums. How?
Got ya.
But other than that, biggest problem with the film, and I'll come to it now. As much as I enjoyed that stuff, in the end of it, it felt long. I felt I was getting tired
Mhm.
while watching the film. So I can enjoy it as much as I want. I can get into it as much as I want and love the music and love the acting and like the story. I didn't think it was the best I've ever seen.
Yep.
But when I get the feeling that I'm checking me watch, that says everything about the film to me.
So what would you give it, babe?
I don't think you can say you've enjoyed a film and put it in Crass Haller. That I've wanted to check the watch on. That is a contradiction.
Mm-hmm.
So on that basis, I'm going to give it a wheel drink to that.
Oh, babe. The new rating system's getting right involved.
So that's around a 78.
I've let you speak there, beat, and you really speak on behalf of both of us.
You've that's definitely reiterating your feelings as well. I felt.
My main points were cinematography, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Scenes were brilliant.
Yeah.
Loved how dark and dingy it was.
Yeah.
You got a real view of a dystopian future.
Maison scene.
Very good CGI. I thought when the CGI was used, especially for the cityscapes and stuff like that,
Absolutely.
it blended in.
Yeah.
With what I liked, what Villenueve did
Yeah.
was he used CGI, but he mainly, a lot of the film, practical shots, practical buildings he's made, must have taken a lot of time to make.
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful. We love practicality on the Talking Crass podcast.
That's a great point to pick up on, I didn't.
Loved Ryan Gosling. I liked how all the characters were fitted out, bar Han Solo, aka Harrison Ford, grumpy grandad, who looked like he just rocked up into a dystopian future in normal gear.
Yep.
I think story-wise, it's 46 minutes longer than the original Blade Runner, and that showed. I felt like it was 46 minutes longer.
Right.
I felt that. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, if we bash this film, people go, well, you know nothing about film. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a bit taboo to bash it. I think people think, oh, Christ, it looks amazing. Like, but we can't really say what we really feel about it. Now, even then and there, I'm a bit dubious because, like what you said, your main point was, you left that, no matter what went on, you were looking at your watch.
Yes.
I myself there was a few points in that I was sitting and going, this is really, really slow.
Yeah.
This film is really, really drawn out.
Mm-hmm.
They could have cut a lot. Really, to cap it all up, loved Gosling's performance. Loved the cinematography. Loved Villenueve.
Yeah.
I think he's a great director. I love the music.
Yeah.
But like you said, we left that cinema and there was something not
Something
right there.
wrong.
It didn't fly over for me, that film. It was very, very slow and it felt slow. And if I'm leaving a film and saying, bloody hell, that was a long film, that, and it felt long.
Yeah.
You haven't really enjoyed it to your full potential. Like,
Absolutely.
you want to go into a film and leave and go, Jesus, that flew over, it was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand you can't do that with films. To make the highs high, you've got to have the lows. You've got to have the lulls in a film. But I think that went on for too long. So for me, Beat, I'm a bit dubious, but I think it's definitely all the directing, the cinematography and that made it into. We'll drink to that.
Okay.
Oh, there's a little double up there. We'll drink to that. That's the rating that we've given this film, Beat. And now on that note, we'll move on and go into some fan questions.
All right.
Right, Beat. First question.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a statement.
Oh.
It's from at NTFTT Pod, friends of the podcast.
Legends.
Go and give them a listen to, people. Imagine a world where Han Solo and Indiana Jones are replicants. How confused would Ryan Gosling be? That's a well thought out question.
So, is Deckard in there as well?
Yes.
So we've got 3.
Looking similar. Is Han Solo not just Deckard with updated gear?
Is Indiana Jones not? Cool outfit. Cool gun.
All it is hero Harrison Ford at different stages in a timeline of life.
I like
You've
that.
got dystopian. You've got, is Star Wars ahead of Blade Runner? By a mile. You've got Han Solo.
By a mile.
Han Solo. Deckard. And then you've got Indiana Jones using whips and a revolver.
I think a better question to ask is,
I
who
think
would win the fight?
I think Gosling would go straight for Indiana.
So do these replicants have increased strength?
Yeah.
All 3 are on the level playing field.
So you've got Han Solo and Indiana Jones.
Who would win that
Who
fight?
are replicants.
Han Solo robot, Harrison Ford robot, K robot, a Han Solo robot.
K took a hell of a beating, by the way.
He did. He got the shit smacked out of him.
He's like an absolute
Robot.
What can he take? He can take anything.
every robot in that, maybe he is the ultimate fighting robot.
On that, to answer your question,
Indiana Jones has got a whip. Not going to help him.
He'd be very confused.
Okay.
But I think I'd like to say that K or Joe
Because
would come out on top because he took some.
Don't call him by his fake name, John. He's K.
Right,
K-7951.
Yeah, I like it. Anyway, Pete, moving on. At Boss Bounty Hunt, top man, member of Crass.
He the best.
Beat, this is aimed at you.
Oh, thanks, mate.
If you could have a body part replaced for a robot body part, what would it be?
Oh no.
I'm sitting back, drinking a can of Red Stripe, and letting you sweat this one out.
Right, so if I can have a robotic body part changed around, which one would it be? Which body part do I hate the most about my own body? Which I want to have robotic features?
Yeah.
Me hair?
The
What are you
evolution
saying
of
about
man.
this?
No, I'm joking. You might want some hair because you're actually bald.
So, stop eating the mic, John.
Sorry.
For those who don't know, for some reason I can't grow a beard.
I thought you were going to say something else there.
So, I'd probably just kind of get a beard enhancement, or like a robot chin.
A metal beard.
So I have like a really scruffy shit beard, which is thin.
Right.
I'm like a little boy, really. Because
Yeah.
obviously, masculinity is reflected by how much of a beard you can grow.
What
That's
about-
basically
what
it.
about-
It's not based off anything else.
What if you just had like Robocop's black beard? Could that pass as
exactly
could
what
that
you
pass as a
mean.
beard?
Right, so the image of this Blade Runner thing is going to be that. I'm going to put
Your
that,
face reveal with a
No.
Robocop.
I'm going to put that black face guard onto Ryan Gosling's head. All right, that's great. So I'm going to rub like an obviously standout metallic beard.
I mean, there you go.
There you go, boss.
How far would Robocop do in the Blade Runner universe?
Robocop would destroy everything. He's like, because that has similar themes, but of what it means to be human. But he's a machine in parts of that.
Imagine
Like.
Robocop being a Blade Runner.
That is great.
Can we cross Blade Runner with Robocop?
What would Cade do if he met Robocop?
He'd just die.
He just like, what happened to your goddamn beard, son? Anyway, there you go. Question hopefully answered.
Blade Runner 2070.
I need
Return
a blade.
of Robocop.
No, wait. There's a joke in here. Like a shaven Blade Runner. Something. There you go. And something. I don't know.
Second cricket noise.
Wilkinson's Blade Runner.
Boss, you've done it again.
Terrible.
On to our last question. But I might have one for you, Pete. I thought of one earlier.
Okay.
Anyway, at Matt Casser, 90, friend of the podcast,
Yeah, boy.
he asks Pete, if you both had a replicant, how would you use it?
Oh no! So if only I'd answered Boss' question differently, where I would have gone for the penis joke, this would have come in handy now.
Pete, have you seen the film Bruno before?
Bruno.
I'd get a lovely Scarlett Johansson looking. You don't know where this is going.
No.
Looking robot, and use her as a table. Hitting all them fascist themes.
I really worry if you...
Fascist? Is that right? Is that the right word?
I
to
guess,
use?
I don't know.
Using replicants as
Yeah,
robot
sure.
tables.
I would really worry if you were actually in this Blade Running universe.
She'd be naked all the
You'd
time.
be the best Blade Runner.
She'd be naked all the time.
You'd be the best Blade
No, I'm
Runner
joking.
ever. You'd be like, shoot first, ask questions later.
I mean, if anyone turned up and was like, "Do you want to
Have
have
you seen
some
a miracle?
Do you want to have some of my garlic protein maggot stew?" And boom, shoot him in the head.
See you later, Dave Bautista, in your little glasses.
Right, no, in all seriousness, I'd probably get a bodyguard who's like 7 foot tall
Right.
to just watch me back.
Ruin people.
Like walking to Tesco, and if there's any hoodies, are like, "Oh, look here!" Just press a button, runs out the car, and just teach them a lesson.
You know what
To
I'd
not shout random things.
You know what I'd have? I'd have the guy who kind of robs people. but then I can come in and save the day. No, I'm going to change that because I look like a psychopath. I'm going to have a person who is a bus driver who actually turns up on time. So he can't actually drive a limo or a normal car. He's just a bus driver who turns up at my bus stop on time.
Is he always on the bus that you get?
Yes.
Right.
Always.
Is he like
in the
Agent
seat?
Smith? Is it just a seat that's got a body?
Have you ever seen what's the film Total Recall? You know, the taxi driver's kind of cut off at the waist.
Yeah.
He's like that in the bus, and it doesn't smell of shit. And you don't have weird psychopaths trying to ask you to like suck them off on the bus or something like that.
I know we're not trying to be creepy, but everyone knows, and what Matt Castle's hinting at, we'll probably get sex robots.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Who said I couldn't hide me wobble it up the exhaust pipe?
Oh Christ! You know what? A lot of people just skip the show and just listen to fan questions.
Right, makes sense.
I mean, how
sex robot bus.
We look great. We look intelligent, intellectual.
Yes.
People who know a lot about film.
That's it.
We definitely have sex robots that would hire Chipolata into. No, that
Speak
wouldn't
for
happen.
yourself. Frankfurter hour, yeah.
Beat that. That brings an end to the podcast.
Right. We're trying to do a funny ending like we do on the normal podcast, but we can't think of one at all, so we're just going to give you a fucking... Vangelis fucking... right, there you go. See you later.
Thank you, people. I've appreciated you listening. We'll be back with episode 18. A Halloween special.
Oh, good grief. Cue the music.
Beat. Who the hell's this?
Deckard.
No, wait. I'm not a replicant.
Me neither.